I'm Patrick Gavin, Politico. It is now time to turn the table with Al Hunt with Bloomberg, host of Political Capital with Al Hunt. Al, we've been asking folks this question for a long time, obviously, because the healthcare.gov rollout has continued to plague the Obama administration. Where do things stand this week? The president obviously made yet another PR push for the site. How is the site doing, and obviously, how are the enrollment numbers doing?
Well, it's better than it's doing before, particularly last month. That isn't much of a compliment because it was a disaster then. There's a little air of desperation about the White House now.
But I hope you haven't been discouraged by how hard it's been, because stuff that's worth it's always hard.
Because they got to get this website up. They're making progress. It's not where it should be. It's a shame they didn't get on this 6 months earlier or a year earlier. But they also have to get 6 or 7 million people signed up in the next 4 months. And about 25% of them or so have got to be young people. So it's going to, the politics are important, the psychology is important, and that'll actually matter as much as the mechanics in the long run.
And are there any signs, obviously you're right, the website is its own set of problems, but then there's also the enrollment numbers. Are there any signs that this sort of 60-day lag that the Obama administration, the website had to endure, are they able to make that up? Is there some momentum that they can in fact overcompensate what's been a pretty bad rollout from the beginning?
Well, it's got to hurt a little bit, but I'm not sure it's lethal. If you look at the experience in Massachusetts and some other the Medicare prescription drugs 10, 11 years ago, people are slow to sign up. What matters here, and why I alluded to the psychology a moment ago, is people can be slow to sign up unless they decide that it's just a bad idea to sign up. And that's the problem that the website rollout created for Obama last month. That's what they hope to overcome now.
Right here in D.C., on a different topic, John Boehner's staff met with some other folks, Republican staff on Capitol Hill, to talk about the Republican Party's women problem when it comes to getting female voters to support them and their candidates, how to talk to female constituents, how to campaign against female candidates. You've been around this town long enough. What do you see as the Republican Party's problem with women voters, if there in fact is one, and how would you, should you advise them, or were you to advise them, how would you recommend that they overcome that?
Well, they wouldn't listen to me to begin with, Patrick, but I'll tell you this. If you're a political candidate and you've got problems communicating with 52% of the electorate, you have problems. You have real serious problems. And I think what they have to do is get rid of some of these nutty notions that were voiced by candidates in Missouri and Indiana last time, and show a sensitivity. It's not that Republicans are anti-abortion or any of those other specific issues. It's what they are. They're anti-sensitivity.
Is that really what it is, that it's really not so much that the Republican Party is on the wrong side of issues, that it's primarily that they have these, Todd Aiken moments, that they have these moments that are maybe more symbolic than substantive, where you get these outliers saying nasty things, and then that kind of paints the Republican Party writ large in an unfavorable light?
I think that's a large part of it. I think women in general are a little more Democratic than they used to be, but men, particularly white men, are more Republican than they used to be. And the challenge for both parties is to get a healthy share of that other party's base. And it's awful hard for Republicans to win contests if they're not getting 47, 48% of the female vote.
All right, Al, before we let you go, tell us about who's going to be on your program this weekend.
It's going to be good, Patrick. Madeleine Albright is going to talk about foreign policy. She's former Secretary of State. But I particularly want to focus on North Korea, which, as you know, had some absolutely tumultuous changes over there this week. We don't know anything about that hidden kingdom. She's been one of the few top American diplomats who've actually been to North Korea. So I really want to get her take on it. We'll hear from some Bloomberg reporters, including our chief economics correspondent, Rich Miller, who will analyze the jobs report in the Federal Reserve.
Dennis Rodman's going back there. I thought we'd already taken care of this issue in North Korea, no?
If Dennis Rodman can't take care of it, who can, I ask you? Maybe I'll get him next week, Patrick.
Yeah. Hey, we're also asking everybody on a much less serious note, if you do get some downtime during this holiday season, are there any books that you hope to read during the next month or so?
Oh, yeah. I've just finished Double Down, which was a good book on the campaign. I learned a lot. And also a wonderful biography of FDR's third term and his decision to run for a third term by Dick Mello. So I'm looking now. I want to read Scott Berg's biography of Woodrow Wilson, because I've never been particularly enamored with Wilson. Maybe I'll change my mind. And I want to read the fine book that Peter Baker wrote on George H.W. Bush. I suspect I'll disagree with some of the conclusions, but again, maybe I'll change my mind. And Patrick, if you have any ideas for a fun, saucy novel, please tell me, because I'd love to find one.
I was just about to say, I mean, this is vacation time and you've got nothing but political books on your nightstand.
Well, you give me some ideas.
Yeah, I'll try. All right, Al Hunt, host of Political Capital with Al Hunt. You can see it on Bloomberg TV. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you, Patrick.